Hi everyone. Hi everyone. I'm here with you, bringing you my most authentic self, the self that I know that I am, the self that sometimes I can forget to be, right? Um, but the self that I always come back to, right? So today we are just going to be talking through one of the messages that I received today. A little journaling, a little writing, a little connection. It's kind of like an overall idea. So, first of all, I'm so grateful for you. Have you ever noticed how much easier life seems to be whenever you are in tune with your highest self? So, have you ever noticed that? Have you ever noticed what that, what that feels like? How things seem to flow effortlessly with ease, right? And with a sense of joy and happiness and bliss. It's such a wonderful thing to be able to be connected to. And I think that it is something that a lot of us really strive to be connected to because we know how much happiness and how much fulfillment that it can bring each of us. So when you are in tune with your highest self, you're going to be in tune with the universe, right? You're going to be in tune with the earth and yourself and your guides. And the message that seemed to kind of want to be talked about today is noticing what that sense is like. Opening up that sense of intuition, or that sense is what we are calling it a glimpse of knowing. A glimpse of knowing. So, what is this? An example would be if you have ever seen A Cloudy with a Chance of Meatballs. Okay, Flint Lockwood is this scientist, right? It's a cartoon done by DreamWorks. Flint Lockwood is the scientist, okay? He has his Flizdemafer, and he doesn't have enough electricity at the house, right? And so he has to plug in this invention to like one of those like electricity towers or whatever. And he's like going to plug it in, or he's like sneaking around the area, and the local police officer, who is voiced by Mr. T, like he's at this like community event. So Flint's like, yeah, everybody's at this event. I'm gonna go sneak over here and like see if I can get this invention like popping off, you know. So the everybody's at this thing, and the Mr. T character, his chest starts wiggling, and he says, what does he say? He says, my chest hairs are tingling. Something's going on, you know? So that glimpse of knowing, right? That is, there are no words to truly describe that moment for each of us, right? Like, at the one thing that has to be understood is that the brain, like consciousness, doesn't have the capacity, uh like the human brain does not have the capacity to calculate all of the potentials. There's an infinite amount of potential throughout each moment of every day, right? So the brain can only calculate so much based off of the data that it is around it. Now, spirit and consciousness, like connected consciousness, does have the capacity to connect to the infinite potential and the infinite now moment. So another example would be, I will share a personal story. So here again, we're talking about being connected with people, right? Being connected with spirit, being connected to our guides, because when we are connected with our guides, our life can flow so easily, with just ease and comfort and joy and bliss, and with many moments, many serendipitous moments, or many glimpses of knowing, right? Many like very deeply connected moments with this, with ourselves and with life around us. So my personal example was, I like to walk around barefoot, okay? Like I live in West Virginia, like the grass here is so soft. Okay, it's not like that crabgrass in Florida, and like I love this grass over here. The earth is just so soft. So anyway, I'm walking. This is what I was doing. Okay. I was sitting in my chair that had been sitting out in the sun, and I grabbed this towel that was sitting in the shade, and I kind of I draped it over the back so that way the chair wouldn't burn me, right? So I'm like chilling. I'm just like, yeah, I'm in my chair. And then I go to get up and I think I don't want the towel to get hot. So I'm just gonna go ahead and put the towel back where it was, like hanging on the back of another chair, but the chair was in the shade. And I sense, okay, I don't like to specify, because I think that each of us, our intuition and our glimpse of knowing comes differently. Like we're talking about sensing, so some of us can hear it, some of us can see it, some of us can feel it, some of us have like flashes of images, right? Like it's different for all of us, like that gut feeling, like that glimpse of knowing, right? Anyway, that voice inside says, or that thought or that sense, I had this feeling that I needed to not put that towel on that chair. Like it was like, you don't want to put that there. Like you definitely want to take this towel and leave it where it is. And I was like, what? What are the chances I'm actually going to need this towel? You know? So I walk around the house, feeling the grass, walking around the house, doing my thing, you know. And I come back and the dog is like licking the water in like the baby pool, and then she kind of like jumps in, which I was super excited about, that she had like gotten in the pool. I didn't know if she would, right? So she got in the pool. And of course, I want to get in the pool with her, to play and be like, woo! I'm kind of like splashing her. We both get out of the pool, and I have no towel. Now, if I would have listened to my intuition, the towel would have been right there. Now, I have wet feet and have to walk through not freshly, yesterday, but still, cut grass. So now my feet aren't just wet, now they're grassy, and now I'm walking to get this towel, and I kept thinking to myself, you knew to bring the towel. You knew. You had a glimpse of knowing, and your brain said, what are the chances of that? I don't need that. Just stop. Just put the towel over here, Not listening to that inner guidance, not listening to that connectiveness. Now, is getting grass all over my feet a big deal? No, but how many times have I not listened to that glimpse of knowing and ended up in a very stickier situation than what I had hoped for, but what I was aligned with, based off of another concept that we're going to talk about, which is the glimpse of knowing. Like literally the glimpse of knowing, the consciousness of knowing. Consciousness knows you and will align you with whatever it is, whatever frequency you are vibrating at. That is the frequency that you're going to find yourself in. But we are also going to be talking more deeply about that, because I find that topic so fascinating. Okay. So what I have written down, but in the present moment, there is no direct way of or knowing because the glimpse of knowing includes the infinite. The true potential, not the potential calculated by the human brain. Okay? So special consciousness doesn't have the capacity to, the potential of the human brain, or the calculations to get to the potential of the human brain, it doesn't have the capacity to calculate infinite, especially in a split second of knowing, of just being. But the true potential and the true glimpse of knowing based off of the true potential is what allows us to kind of feel, to sense what's about to happen and what we may need, right? To get there, or to be there, and to be at both places simultaneously is what? So interesting. If you take it that far, right? Like if your brain has the capacity to see that perspective, which, yeah. I don't know if I explained that perfectly. I'm doing my best. But I do have something else that I really feel strongly that we need to talk about, which is like the energy that's going on right now. And I think that this is also another reason why Michael kind of brought this idea. And maybe this could be a nice mantra, right? Like, I am at ease when I am with my divine self. You know, I am at ease because I am connected with my highest self. Like, that might be a mantra to help you get a little more connected to your spirit guides. Because right now it seems like there is as some people may have heard or may know or may have a knowing of, I mean, our planet as we have known it is going through a major transformation of consciousness, of being able to consciously be connected to itself and us to ourselves. So right now it basically seems like there is this childhood or old perspective that we are looking at our world. So as we are living our life, we aren't living it as we are now, that there has been almost this wave, this vibration that is, and it could have been the full moon. I'm not really sure what's going on with the planets. Like, I don't really look into all of that stuff. But it's almost like your brain is saying, but don't you remember when this happened to you? And it's like, the time that my last relationship, right? It's like, your brain's like, don't you remember your last relationship? And then it like clicks over these lenses and you're experiencing this 4D movie, okay, where the emotions are involved, and like what you're viewing your life with an old perspective. You're viewing life with lenses on that reflect something that has happened in the past. Okay. Some of you may be experiencing just like fear in general, like fear, loneliness, confusion, anger, jealousy was one thing that really came up today. It was like something about jealous. It was by Labyrinth. The song that was playing was Jealous of the Rain. You know, that touches, that kisses on your skin, jealous of the wind. Then, you know, it's like it was so these feelings of jealousy, which again, let's think of if we are creating a healthy perspective of jealousy. It's like this it's not doesn't have to be like possessive. It can be more of a of a real sense of lack of self-worth. Maybe that's something that's coming up in some of you. Just like some very deep-seated emotions and like perspectives, and they are your friend. It's your friend. Like, it does feel extremely overwhelming. It does feel impossible. But these waves, like this specific feeling that you get, this isn't the first time you probably felt this. Like, I'm sure that you have felt this before. And it presents itself to us so that we can have the opportunity to be who we say we are, right? To be who we are, to be who we want to be, okay? To be whatever potential that we want. So if you are asking for peace, this time is to give you the opportunity to be peace. If you are strength and courage and brave, you know, these affirmations that we say to ourselves, this is the opportunity to be these things. Now, what this doesn't mean is to make irresponsible decisions based off of the lenses that we may be viewing the world through, okay? This doesn't mean self-sabotaging and being self-deprecating and just giving everything up, right? What this means is that we are having the opportunity to revisit our original programming, which we are going to dive much deeper into. What does that look like? What is our old programming? What is that? What does that mean? This time is to allow you to say, I am not that sad, worthless, overworking, misunderstood person. I am who I say I am. You know, I am strong. I am brave. I do know how to connect to spirit and how to find out where I am to go next. I do know these things, and I will not allow anything, not even this glimpse, this tiny blink of moment, to forget that, right? Nobody's saying here on earth that we have to be anything more than what we are, right? Like, nobody's asking us to like be a superhero, you know, to be perfect. Nobody. I got a fortune cookie that said, there is no representation of beauty. Like, beauty has no representation. Perfection there is no, like, what does perfect look like? You cannot define perfection. And in the eyes of God, in the eyes of spirit, you are perfection. Like, you are perfect with all of your flaws and all of your mean things that you say to yourself internally. And, you know, it hurts them to see that you are willing to be so mean and hard on yourself, but Spirit loves you, and Spirit is here with us, and Spirit is asking for you to relieve yourself, release these hurtful, these painful perspectives. And when we say release them, we're not saying like what we mean by release them is what we are saying is release the judgment of it, right? Nobody's asking you to be perfect. We're just asking you to be. And sometimes you're going to be I'm going to use a very hard word here. Sometimes we be shitty, okay? But if you can be conscious in that shittiness, if you can be conscious and aware of yourself, and if you can offer yourself some love in that, that is God. Like that is becoming the empath, the light worker, the star seed, the light that for yourself that you will then be able to share with the world. Fear not, earthling. That's what I'm hearing, like, fear not, earthling. Trust the voice within. If we want to just get down to the nitty gritty, every day you have the opportunity to be something new, and sometimes that requires a little bit of imagination. Okay, that means not staying within what you perceive to be real. It means like creating something new, that playfulness that you feel as a kid when you're around kids. Like they just can switch, you know, from upset to happy again. And it's because you don't have to hold on to that emotion. You know, you don't have to. You can use different tools, which we can talk about in other videos, to help build up the momentum to joy, happiness, and bliss, to build up the momentum to connection and compassion and love. Like, allow these emotions to be with you, allow them to speak to you and help you get a better understanding of who you are. So if you are experiencing some sort of jealousy, like, what does that jealousy say? And do you really believe what it says? You know? Like, what's your jealousy say? But you're mine. Am I? Are they? No. You know? Or, you know, whatever else. I mean, I think that's a very single, narrow perspective that I just shared, but that might have been for somebody very specific. Remove the masks, remove the expectation that you have to be mad, that you have to be angry, that you have to hold on to it for a certain of time in order for it to heal you, or in order for you to get closure. Do things that build up momentum for you to be more connected and begin to trust the voice within, because it is that voice that will guide you to wherever you want to go, baby. Because you are so loved, you know? Allow that voice to guide you to that peace, that happiness, that joy, that love, that lover, that partner, that conversation that you want to have, that movement of energy that you want out of your body, to healing. Know that you are not alone, that you have never been alone, that you are connected with everything, always and forever, that God loves you, that I love you, and that I believe in you. I believe in whatever that it is happening right now for all of us. I believe in myself, you know? Like, I believe in myself. So I believe in all of you. You can overcome this. You're going through a major transition. One, to help you get to know yourself better than you have ever known yourself before. And that is a gift, to be able to get to know yourself, because the more you get to know yourself, the more you can love yourself. And the more that you can challenge yourself to be more. But right now, Michael, Raphael, your spirit guides, my spirit guides, and me, all we are asking you to do is simply be. And be with yourself in your pain and in your happiness. And that you're safe to be there. And you are safe to use tools to get your vibration higher. Okay? It's like, feel your emotions, whatever, connect, reflect, get that deep introspection, that wise stuff, and then build up the momentum to build the strength, to build the courage, to build the bravery, to build the vibration, the momentum of joy, happiness, and bliss, because it is always available to you. I love you all so much. I hope that this meant something. I hope that it said something to somebody. And I'm with you. I'm with you in spirit. I'm with you in love. And I'm with you here on earth. And live your heaven now. You can do it. You deserve it. Even if it's just for a little bit of the day, pull it, anchor it down as often as you can, and surround yourself with other earth angels and other star seeds and empaths and psychics and all of you. You are so loved. You are so loved. You are so loved. You are so loved. You're so loved. And I hope that you feel that spirit moving through you, through your heart, cleansing you, filling you with that pure white light of love, connecting you with all that is, and all that has been, and all that will ever be. Bye.